Grand Rising, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Maker Al Banya Osher Al, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of Yahweh, and the church. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This morning, I woke up very early this morning to an unfortunate circumstance, but I got up and I took care of the circumstances. And while I was up, I was just thinking about the day and just giving glory because it's the Shabbat day. You know, I was brought up in the Seventh Day Adventist Church to believe the word Sabbath day because it's the English translation of the actual day. But when I learned a little bit, I realized it is more than Sabbath; it's actually Shabbat. So there's some things that we just didn't understand. And when I say I was brought up in the Adventist church, not from my youth, I became an Adventist at about 35, 36, to seeking truth by looking at the Bible for myself for the first time and realize, wait a minute, some things are off because I was focusing on really getting to know the Creator. I wanted to know Him for myself. I did not want my parents' religion. I did not want the religion by which I was brought up in, because I'm reading the Bible, and when you read the Bible, if you can comprehend and if you can understand things, you realize something is just off. Something is just off. You find yourself going to church week after week, and you realize you're doing the same mundane religious acts week after week, and you realize you're not getting any closer to the God who you truly want to worship. You're not getting any closer to Him. You're getting closer to a religious understanding, what I call a religious ritualism. So I didn't know God. I know of God. I didn't know His words. I knew what I was told. I knew what I was educated to think and believe. So when I get to the point where I start to think and believe and for myself, then I start to ask questions and I start to see and gain more insight. First, I want to say shalom, shalom, shalom. That's when you say the word shalom means peace. It's not shalom or shalom, it's shalom, and it means peace. When you use the word twice, shalom, shalom, it means perfect peace. So in the words of Yahoshua, aka the one that is mistakenly called Jesus, when you use the word peace and understand it, the peace must be given to those who are ready to receive it, those who are receiving it. If you do not receive it, then my peace return unto me. My peace return unto me. So I said, shalom, shalom, for those who understand. And today we're going to talk about the mysteries of the kingdom, the mysteries of the kingdom. Now, when I use the word kingdom, if you were brought up in a democracy, you probably won't understand what I'm talking about when I use the word kingdom, because you were brought up in a democracy. But if you were if you were anywhere brought up in the 40s, born in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even in the early 70s, you probably will understand kingdom. If you were brought up in Europe, you probably will understand kingdom as well, because most of Europe were ruled by kings and kingdom and empire. So you will kind of understand what I'm talking about. So we're going to talk about the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, and we're going to look at some scriptures, and we're going to go into the understanding that was given, and hopefully that you can get to that place where you are at an informed intelligence where you can make up your own darn mind. Before we get into this, I want to just caution you. You must understand for yourself. You must not rely on my understanding. You must not rely on anyone's understanding because the truth is absolute. The truth needs no one. The truth is the truth, and the truth is eternal. Thy word is truth. So you must understand what the King of the universe said. This is the most important thing to understand truth, is to understand what he said. But before you can understand what he said, you must understand who he is. You must know who he is. And once you understand who he is, then you must understand who you are relative to who he is. Because if you don't, where do you fit in? A wise man once taught me, he said, when you're going to business, when you're doing a business transaction, when you're doing a business deal, you must not only think of yourself, you must also think of the person you're doing business with. But the most important thing when it comes to the business is what's in it for me? How can I benefit and how can you benefit? You must go into it with a 50-50 mindset, or in some case, if you are higher intelligence, go into it with 100-100 mindset. 100 for me, 100 for you. A lot of people want 60-30, 70, 60-40, 70-30, and 51-49. It's kind of a greed, control mindset. But when you go in there with, okay, what's in it for you, what's in it for me, you will come out with a better understanding and you will feel better. You'll feel better to know that you've got in and you create the opportunity for someone else as well as yourself. Two, when you look for information, you must understand that information, knowledge is power. And those who control the information have the power over you. How you encounter and defend and stand up against that power is if you can find the information, the true information. Not all information is true. Not all information is correct. Not all information is beneficiary. So you must understand for yourself by doing your own research. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the age of information. It's at your fingertips. You cannot claim ignorance. You cannot claim ignorance. You have to research. You cannot stand before the king and says, I didn't know. Because we're in the age of information where you can speak to a device and a device can give you instant information, where research is at your fingertips. So you're without excuse. So if you don't know, it's not because you don't have the access to the info, is because you're bliss. So Let's see here. Okay, testing, 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 testing. All right, now it's working. All right, so I'm going to start this over. All right, let's go out of here. All right, guys. No, you can hear me, but we've gone so long. I don't want people to think what 4 or 5 minutes into it and they couldn't hear me. So I'm going to have to start this over. All right, let me just get out of here. Let me end this